Hey everyone, welcome back to Office Hours. I say welcome back, but this is the first time I've done an Office Hours in a few weeks now. I think I've been a little bit slack with it. Things have been busy over the holiday period, and it's great to see people joining me here already. You're very welcome here at Office Hours today. I'm going to be here as always for the next maybe 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep this maybe on the shorter side of things for today. Um, but if you're here, if you're joining me and you have any questions about Substack, about writing, about solopreneurship, anything at all that you want to ask me directly in the next few minutes, just feel free to pop it into the chat. It's so good to see people joining me here already. I'm going to mention a couple of things maybe that I want to draw your attention to as well. But if you're here today and you're joining me and you have any questions about anything you want to ask me about writing, about Substack, about myself directly, then that will be very welcome indeed. So just to explain why I've been gone for the last few weeks when it comes to office hours, we were getting some work done on our house, some painting and things like that. So that's been a bit disruptive for the last few weeks and things like that. So it's finally done downstairs. I'm excited to finally have our space back again, and also just because it was the holiday period, because it was Christmas and New Year, and it was super busy. So this is the first chance I've had just to jump on the Substack and to chat with you guys here today. So again, feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're joining me from in the chat. I can see you all down one side of my screen here. It's really cool to see some names that I recognize. And yeah, I want to ask you guys a question as well. So I'm gonna pitch this. I'm gonna put it into the chat here as well. So, what is your biggest goal for Substack in 2026? Let's give me a chance to write this down. For Substack in 2026. It's crazy that it is 2026 in some ways. I know we're already 2 weeks in to the year, but what is your biggest goal for Substack in 2026? Lee, great to see you here from Portland in Oregon. Thanks for joining me. Lee, feel free to tell me what your main goal is for Substack as well if you like. But what is your biggest target for this year? So if there is one main thing you want to nail on Substack by the end of 2026, what is it? Tell me in the chat. Is it you want to grow your audience to a certain size? You want to get into a regular posting rhythm? You want to figure out how to use Substack Live or podcasts? You want to monetize with your paid tier? You want to um, start sharing products through Substack, develop a coaching system for it. And what is it you want to do on Substack in 2026 that you'd love to achieve? If there's one thing you want to achieve, that would be awesome. Just tell me what that is in the chat, and I'll see if I can address that as well. Dawn from Georgia, thanks for being here. It's really good to have you here. Always love seeing you guys join me from all around the world. I am in Northern Ireland right now, as always, and it is absolutely lashing with rain, as we would say here, and that's pretty normal, unfortunately. So it's very cold. We're going to light the fire tonight and stay warm. Harriet Parker says that she wants to learn how to monetize on Substack this year. That's a great target. I think a lot of us want to learn how to generate more income. I think at the minute as creators, as much as possible. Harriet, have you got any ideas for how you want to monetize? So if you want to tell me that in the chat as well, feel free to pop that in there. What are maybe some things you're thinking about? Um, Dawn says that she wants to learn more about it and be effective in using it in terms of Substack. So, Dawn, have you got any questions about it you want to ask me while we're here about Substack, and I'll see if I can answer them. Um, Vlada, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, says, "Hi David, thank you so much. What do you recommend on how to start and grow on Substack from scratch?" Good question. I've got a video about that actually on YouTube. Maybe see if I can find the link to it and pop it into the chat as well. No, I'll do that later actually. You can find me on YouTube and just look at my most recent video, I think, which is about starting from scratch on Substack. But um, if you're starting from scratch and you want to grow your audience, you want to get into a regular rhythm, my first and simplest advice is just to try and work Substack into your daily routine. So if you can show up on the platform every day, and I tell this to my coaching clients as well, and they're sick of hearing this kind of thing probably, but if you can show up in Substack every day for 20, 30 minutes and just spend some time on the platform, leaving a note yourself, replying to some other people's notes, leaving comments, liking things, just generally engaging with your network, you will start to see the benefit of that in no time at all. You'll start to see your audience grow. You start to see your connections grow. You'll meet friends on the platform who will go on to be great collaborators in the future. So that's my first and best advice: is just spend a bit of time on the platform. Carve out a bit of time in the morning with a cup of coffee, or in the afternoon if you've got time, or even at night. If you're tempted to watch an episode of your favorite show, you can maybe set that aside for another day, or watch it while you're on Substack as well, because you can definitely do two things at once. But yeah, spend some time on Substack, get used to the platform, meet friends, and network, and that's gonna that will really pay dividends further down the line on the platform. Loretta says, how to use Substack and grow my business. Thanks, Fat. I did say your name right. That's great. Yeah, using Substack to grow your business is a great that's a great target as well. It's such a good way to bring in audience members into your ecosphere. It's a word I use a lot. But it's a great way to grow your audience for free for the most part on Substack. So if you want to have a nice email audience base, that you can potentially put products or services in front of, Substack is a great way to do that. So I always recommend finding ways to just make connections, get more followers, get more subscribers, find out what your subscribers need as well. So ask them questions all the time about what they're going to find most useful. And if you can then write content that's going to help them solve problems, create products or services that will help them solve those problems as well. That's a good way to go in terms of building your business. Um, let's see. Barbara said, you want to build a community across your genealogy and family history world across platforms from my home in Berkeley, California. Awesome. Yeah, I think again, Substack's awesome for building a community. I love seeing you guys joining me from all around the world in these office hour sessions as well. And yeah, community is a real key factor, I think, going forward. I think that is really the antidote to so much of what's wrong with the internet these days. Having a really, really strong community of real people around you and feeling part of something as Substack, I think right now really is the best platform for that. I know that whenever I come onto the platform and spend some time here, I really do feel like I'm part of the community. I feel like I'm part of something that's real with real people. I feel like I'm entering a room and I'm spending time in that room and talking to people. So, if you want to build a community across Substack in 2026, that's a great target. Barbara, um, Harriet, you mentioned as well that you're ADHD and you want to focus on that and mid age burnout. That's a really good topic as well. I think that's going to reach a lot of people. Burnout in particular, I think we all kind of struggle with that as well. So that's if you can write things that can give people antidotes to that in some way, ways to cope with burnout, solutions for that, then that's a great topic to focus on. Dawn said you want to grow your audience. And yeah, growing your audience is I think something we all want to do. I think it's always really important as well to grow your audience numerically, so get more subscribers into your base. But more importantly than that, grow deeper with the audience that you already have. So learn again what they need from you, how you can help them, and find really organic, vibrant ways to connect with them. I've seen a lot of people recently, again, some of my coaching clients as well, doing Substack lives and doing podcasts and finding ways to get their face and their voice in front of their audience and just help them to get to know them better again. Repeat this all the time, but in the age of AI, it's so important if you can to show your face and get your voice out there. And even that, if that's just in notes, that's fine. If you can share a picture of yourself, where you live, just walk out for a walk or with your pets or with your family, it's so powerful if you can tell real stories about real things that have happened to you. There's such a effective way of helping your audience get to know you better. So tell stories, show your face, if you can, and yeah, you will start to see your audience grow deeper in connection with you. And that old adage about having 1,000 true fans, kind of all you really need, and it's still largely true today. 1,000 people who know you or feel like they know you and trust you, can be more effective than having 10,000 or 100,000 people who don't know anything about you at all. Okay. Susie says, I want to grow my audience and build a community for my readers. So mention those things, Susie. Hope that was helpful, what I said there. Um, let's scroll down here and see. Uh, Lee said, I need to get started with persuasive anti-war theme and curate it related research facts eventually monetize. Yeah, that's great as well. Again, so relevant, of course. Um, and yeah, I think talking about eventually monetizing as well. I think that's an interesting phrase. And where do you stand, guys, on monetizing? So do you want to monetize like now as you're getting started, or do you kind of see monetization as something that you will do later once your audience is bigger? So where do you stand on that? Tell me, do you want to monetize now and get started right now, or do you kind of want to wait until your audience is bigger and you feel more comfortable with it? So let me know in the chat how you feel about that. Um Vlada, you said, if you take Substack seriously and are intentional and consistent, how long does it usually take you to see good results where you can do it full time? That's a really good question. I think, well, I'll tell you what happened to me. And again, this is different because this was back in 2023, so it's not gonna be exactly the same now. But I spent about a solid month, I think in December 2023, just kind of spending time on Substack for, again, 30 minutes or so a day, following people, subscribing to people's publications, leaving comments and notes and liking things and restacking stuff and leaving my own content. I spent a lot more time focusing on networking at that point and a lot less time on creating content. I think a good rule of thumb, if you're starting out, you want to grow your audience, is spend 80 to 90% of your time networking and 10 to 20% of your time actually creating your own content. And that really had a massive impact for me. Like my audience, I would say, quadrupled at least in a month alone just from doing that. Again, it's different. It's not as maybe um as I don't know what the right word is for it. The opportunity isn't there as much as it used to be a couple of years ago, but it can definitely still work wonders if you just show up every day. I know that other people I'm talking to at the minute are doing that and they're seeing their audience grow in real time. It's not a massive sudden growth splurge, but they're seeing subscribers come in every day where maybe there wasn't growth happening before. So um, again, it's not an overnight thing. It does take time. There's no real time scale you can set on it because everyone's different. But I think if you can do it every day, consistently, you're sort of talking 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10 subscribers maybe coming in a day for your publication. Again, that's just purely based on what I've seen with other people as well and what I've been experimenting with myself. So stick with it. And I know that it's hard at the start when you don't see results straight away. You do get it's easy to get frustrated with that. You want to see something happening whenever you're putting the time and the effort in. Your stuff is definitely worthwhile. But just be patient, take the time, and you'll start to see that impact coming in after a while, for sure. Okay, let's see. Um, Tom says, "All I really need now is to learn how to self-narrate my posts." I think that's really good, Tom. I think if you can narrate your posts and add that voice feature, it's really nice. Again, I was speaking to someone earlier who said that they listen to a lot of posts on Substack because they don't always have time to read them. Um, even if they're driving or whatever else. So if you can narrate your own content, again, what a great way for your audience to get to know you, get to know your voice as well. It's kind of two birds with one stone kind of situation there. So yeah, Tom, definitely um spend some time learning how to do that. And yeah, Substack is great for that as a platform. Let's see. Just trying to cover these questions. So Susie, you said um, you'd like to monetize now, but you feel like you don't have enough to offer yet. 3 articles so far. How do you know when to turn on paid? I do think that, well, there's two things here. You can turn it on straight away at the start and give everyone who comes across you the opportunity to pay you because I think whenever I was starting out, I didn't really have much of an offer for my pay tier, but there were still people who upgraded to my pay tier anyway, even whenever I had very little going on at that point. So there'll be people out there who will want to support you purely based on even your free content. They'll like it so much that they'll think, you know what, I want to support Susie and I want to just show her support in that way. And Substack makes that possible. So if you make that opportunity clear, if you always have your subscribe button there, if you even have maybe a founding member option, people can pledge to you in advance. You can say, this is what I'm going to do in my paid tier. I'm hoping to turn it on in the next month or a couple of months. If you want to get in early, you can consider upgrading now, my paid tier. and you can maybe offer like a sort of early bird f incentive, so anyone who upgrades now will get early access to whatever this thing is, and whatever you feel like you can offer to somebody in advance, they will be able to claim that by upgrading now. But again, do what's right for you, do what you feel like you have time to do, don't put pressure on yourself, enjoy the process of being on Substack, but you can turn on your paid tier now, or if you want to wait till you feel like you know everything better, I feel like you've got a better understanding of your audience and of the platform, you want to wait until you really do feel confident with it, then you can also do that as well. So do what's right for you. I think you'll kind of know when the time is right. You know whenever you're ready to do it. But yeah, hope that was a semi decent answer to that question. Um, Kristen, good to see you again, Kristen. I'd love to monetize now as well, but also feel like I need to have enough of something to make it worthwhile for people. And that is a great point as well. Um, I think that feeling of having enough is really something that can hold some of us back sometimes because we feel like we're not enough. We feel like our Substack publication doesn't offer enough. But honestly, in terms of the level of content, in terms of the writing that people do, I read some stuff and I think this is the kind of stuff that is generally better than most of what's online right now. This is better sometimes than what you see in even traditional media. These are real stories about real people, um, sharing real vulnerable stuff and real solutions to what they went through. So that is high value. That is stuff that is worth paying for. So the content you create in your free tier is often already the kind of level that people want to pay for. So give them the opportunity to do it. Just have that button available in your posts. Make it simple, make it gentle. You know, if you want to support me at this point, you can upgrade to my paid tier, and if not, that's okay. Yeah, because play around with it, experiment, see if it works. Put it in a few posts. Don't even include paywalls and stuff. Just basically in those early days, say if you want to support me, you can. And see what happens. Be somebody out there who's watching what you're doing, and they'll maybe want to support you. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have right now. If anyone has any more questions they want to ask, feel free to pop them into the chat while I'm here. And again, feel free to tell me what your main goal for Substack is on 2026. Um, Susie, tactical question: do you recommend pushing post immediately with a note or waiting a day or two? I've heard different advice. Again, just based on what I do, I would just push. I would just push a post immediately with a note. So I will just as soon as it's posted, I will just share it, you know, from the share button on the article. I'll just share the post directly, and then I'll maybe take a quote from it and like restack that quote. You can always restack your note about the article if, in a few hours' time as well, or even a few days' time if you want to. And you can just share another note about it if you want to as well. So, you can never promote your stuff enough. I think. Don't worry about putting it onto your feed too much. People are bombarded with stuff all the time. Your note will fall down the pecking order very quickly anyway. So don't ever feel like you're going to over promote your writing. You can always, you can never do enough of it. So do as much as you want, for sure. Hope that was helpful. Uh, I got my first and only paid tier paid subscriber, I assume, so far based on the free content I wrote. Since then, most of my content has been free with a few paywall posts. I've already turned on my monetization. How could I leverage my posts to my readers to upgrade to paid? Um, yeah, again, I think just offering that opportunity is great. You already have paid subscribers coming in. That's great. Um, I would say if you want to leverage your posts, what you could potentially do if you have paywalls in your post is in the first half of a post or the first section of a post, talk about the what and the why. So, what is the problem? Why is it a problem? You know, what could life look like if the problem was solved? And then in the second part of the post for paid subscribers, you could talk about the how. So, here's the solution to the problem I've already pitched in the first part of this. I know not everyone likes paywalls halfway down a post and that sort of thing, but it's definitely a way to leverage it if you want to tell people why this is a problem and what life could look like, and maybe some solutions you maybe tried in the past, maybe that they've tried, and then say, I have the solution to this. Here's maybe the first part of the solution, and then here's the rest of it broken down in more detail. It's a good way to leverage it, just to help people understand why they need the solution and why they'll be worth paying for. Hope that's helpful. Um, Uh, Sherlock Holmes Thailand. I love that. I love that. That name as well. Any tips for fiction and Substack? I'm launching my series in March. Um, if you're writing on Substack directly, then uh, make sure that if you're say posting a chapter of a piece each week, and make sure you link at the start and the end of that piece to the previous chapter and the next one, so there's nice concurrent flow in your stuff. It's great to maybe uh, pad that out with maybe some live content as well. So go live, maybe do a reading of the piece that you've just excuse me you just posted and in a live excuse me. And you can maybe try that, or maybe just share quotes from it in restacked posts as well. Um, the main thing I suppose is try and have a regular slot for that. So is it going to be once a week? Is it going to be twice a week? Whatever it's going to be, as long as it is manageable for you, as long as you can turn up every week and share that bit of fiction, so that your readers come to understand when it's going to arrive in their inbox. It's obviously great if you already have stuff laid out in advance that you can share. Um, I see Stephen Keen behind you. Good spot, because that's pretty far behind me as well in this room. Do you take inspiration from other such novelists, especially for present day content? Yeah, Stephen Keen's a massive influence for me. I think anyone who's read any of my horror stuff will probably see influence from him in that. Not that it's in any way comparable, but just that you can maybe see similar kind of approaches to the way I write. Yeah, Stephen King's a massive influence on me, in particular, probably my favorite novelist, I would say. Um, and yeah, for present day content, it's a good question as well. I think all of my stuff is currently set present day. I don't think I've ever written anything that's set in the past, unless it's maybe fantasy, and that's like a different time scale, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely a huge inspiration for me, for writing present day stuff. Um, Liliana says, "How? Sorry, I've been sharing my posts on socials about 5 to 7 days after I post. Also sharing directly with friends and acquaintances, depending on topic. I have about 40 subscribers so far. I write short pieces of memoir, and I have a novel coming out later this year. Can you speak to this for audience growth?" Okay, so well, for one thing, that's a really good posting rhythm. So 5 to 7 days on social after you post, and sharing directly with your friends and family and acquaintances, um, and short pieces of memoir, and you got a novel coming out. I think, again, if you've got a novel coming out in advance, or if you can talk about it in advance, it's good to talk about what that process looks like for you writing the novel. So, talk about your inspiration, talk about what your rhythm looks like for your daily routine. Maybe share a picture of your writing space, talk about the challenges you faced writing it, talk about your favorite chapter, share a favorite quote from it, talk about a character, describe what they look like, who's that character maybe based on or inspired by. Make people feel well in advance of a book coming out that they're part of it, that they're part of some sort of community around that book, so that they played some sort of role in the development of that book, if possible. Um, Make them feel that by the time that book comes out, it's something that they have had some sort of say in. So talk about your book as much as you can, and talk about the process, talk about the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and keep up your rhythm, Liliana, because that's a great rhythm with stuff. Try and um, maybe in terms of pre-orders and stuff like that for your book, try and approach people directly who you know, and just be honest about it and be candid and say, my book's coming out. I would love your support for it. If you can buy a copy or two, even for somebody else, that would be great. If you can't buy a copy, or it's not really your thing, can you share it onto your social media, or with your email list if they have one, and with their friends and family as well? Tell them about it, or someone that they know maybe who might like it. Try and get a bit of word of mouth going around your book well in advance with those social media posts. And I think in terms of audience growth, the more shareable kind of stuff you create, because I think that kind of stuff, that behind the scenes stuff for novelists, is really, really interesting. I'm always interested in that myself personally, seeing what somebody else's process is like. It's a very good way to create the kind of content. Excuse me, my voice is going again. This always happens in lives. The kind of content that people can relate to, and maybe engage with, and say, yes, I go through that same thing, or this is what my writing space looks like, or whatever. it's going to get pushed out more, I think, by the algorithm because there's more comments on it, more engagement, and then that's a good way of just getting more subscribers coming in for your audience. So what you're already doing is great, and please keep doing that, and just talk about your process. I'll answer one more question because my voice is already going. Julian says, "How should I start coaching with my followers? And put together a really good coaching package, and have someone in mind for who you want to help. What's the problem you're going to help someone solve? Try and be as specific as you can, in terms of your coaching, and just make it available, and maybe open it up every so often, create some scarcity, some time limited kind of stuff. You can say, I've opened this up for a week. I'm taking on some coaching clients. Maybe have like a special early bird kind of discounted thing, like 50% off, or the price is going to increase next month. So this is the best time to do it, and that sort of thing. So I don't know if Julian you mean on Substack or LinkedIn or something like that, but definitely create some urgency, create a bit of a time limited thing, be very specific about what you're going to offer for that. And hopefully that will be helpful for you. With coaching, coaching is a really good big ticket item as well. That you can definitely have just a few clients, but generate some good income with that. I know that for me, I love coaching. I've only been doing it for a few months, but I really, really enjoy working with the people I'm working with right now. They're so much fun. I think they're seeing results already at this point. So it's really, really cool to do that. And coaching is a great way to go if you can do that. So hope that was helpful, guys. I want to leave you with a reminder, and you'll got this via email for the last few days from me. I'm sorry for plaguing you, but whenever something good is happening, I want to tell you about it plenty of times to make sure you don't miss it. But my friends at Right Bill Scale are doing a webinar or a masterclass, should I say, tomorrow. I think it's at around 7 p.m. Central European time. It's all about just how to get the most out of Substack in 2026. So if you're just getting started, if you've been on Substack for a while, whatever your situation is, that is a great free masterclass to attend. You get the replay as well. If you attend it, you get the chance to ask questions live at the end, and they can really help you with that. It's totally free. There's no obligation to do anything, to buy anything whenever you're there. You can just attend it and enjoy it. So that's tomorrow. And the link to sign up to that, to claim your spot, is in the multiple emails I've sent over the last few days. So please check your inbox. Please click that link and sign up and claim your place on that webinar. It'd be so useful. I know that any previous masterclass that they've done has been great. They really, really people who've attended, I've seen a real benefit from it. So that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central European time. So claim your spot before it fills up. I hope this was useful, guys. Susie, you're very welcome. Um, if you've enjoyed this today, hopefully that's been useful for you. It's great to do these office hours with you guys once a week. I'm going to try and get back into the regular rhythm again now that all the stuff that's been happening with our house is sorted and the holiday season is over. Um, and yeah, I love doing this time with you guys. So thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me from all across the world. Spend a bit of time with me here today, and I will see you probably on Substack either today or tomorrow, and certainly on office hours again next week. And make sure you sign up for that webinar. Which is happening tomorrow while you still can. Thanks, guys. See you real soon. And I'll share this video onto my YouTube channel as well, so you can watch it back later if you want to. It's not going to be shared anymore in the weekly Saturday morning coffee posts, because it's going to be once a month from now on. So, the best place to catch these is on YouTube. So make sure you watch that back if you have the time. See you soon. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, have a great day.